Hello. This is Creating Cards with Sherry. I'm Sherry, and I'm so glad that you've joined me today for my Simple Sunday video. Before I get going, I just wanted to reiterate what we needed to do with this card, because I know when I did this video on Tuesday, it got a little confusing. So I just wanted to clarify it with you. All right, what I'm talking about is the pillar inside. This is a 2x5 piece of paper, and you cut it or score it actually at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, and 4 inch. And you'll snip off just a little bit, like 1/16 millimeter on one end, so that when you put this together, it will fold in place really well and be a good spot. All right. Well, then what you want to do is you want to lay your pillar flat with this end that has been glued on your left hand side, and you're going to put glue on all of this so that by the time you adhere this, you'll take that bottom piece, that left hand side, you'll put that at the bottom of your card, and the right hand side that's glued will go on the side of the card, on the side, the first column that you have here. Okay. And so when that's in place, then your pillar should fold and unfold as it should when you make your card. I hope that clarifies any confusion that I may have caused and that will help you out. Again, if you visit my blog, all the information will be there to assist you. Today we're going to make a column pop-up card, and it looks like this. And the column pop-up card is really a lot easier to make. And what's nice about it is you can lay it this way, and it will fit the 5 1/4 by 4. Yeah, 5 1/4 by, no, I'm sorry, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 size card. Or you can also fold it this way, whatever way you want to do, depending upon what things you put on the top. If you put extra things that are going to hang over, you want to make sure that you lay it on the side so that that which is hanging over will not be seen or will fit into the card. Okay, let's get started here. You're going to need 2 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 sheets of paper. The one you're going to score at 4 1/4 like we normally do for a regular card. The other one you're going to have several score lines with. And let me grab my notes so I make sure I tell you correctly what they are. There's a 1/2 inch, and I know you can't really see this here. There's a 1/2 inch. Then you score again at 1 1/4, then 2, 2 3/4, and 5. And then we go to 6 1/4, or I'm sorry, 5 1/2. Then we go to 6 1/4, 7, 7 3/4. Okay, I missed one somewhere. Let me try this again. 1/2 inch, 1 1/4, 2 inch, 2 3/4. There we go. 5 1/2 inch, 6 1/4, 7, and 7 3/4. So you will have a 1/2 inch column on each side, and then 3 of the 3/4 inch columns and a 2 inch. All right. And so once you get that all done, we're going to fold these all up. And make everything work so it will bend nice. And I might refer back to my green card over here so I remember how it went together, because sometimes these get a little confusing. All right. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this together, and we want to make 2 columns. And if you put those in like it's kind of crooked, they don't really make a square column. So we have a way to figure that out. We're going to lay it flat like this on both sides so that you have 2 of the 3/4 inch lines laying flat. All right, what happened here? Okay. And you're going to have those laying flat. So what you want to do is you want to put your glue just on that 1/2 inch mark where you put that 1/2 inch score. There we go. That was the word I wanted. And then you'll just flip them over. Okay, and we'll just let it sit there for a little bit so that the glue will set. Okay. And then if you open it up, you will see that we have 2 pillars right there, 2 square pillars. All right, and what that's going to do is that's going to go straight on this card, and that will be your column piece. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by stamping everything we need, and then we'll begin to put it together. I'm using Terrific Toadstools. We're going to make one like this, just different colors. And I'm using ink. I'm using the Melon Mambo and the Pumpkin Pie ink. I'm using the Toadstools Designer Series paper. And we have a 5 1/4 by 4 inch basic white. These are scraps that I will be using. We will be using our paper punch, our mushroom paper punch. This is 7/8 by 2 inches for my sentiment. And then I also used the So Swirly embossing folder. So I'll tell you how we did this. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp some of these things together. And let's see, I wanted to put some more ladybugs on here. So I want to put one there and one more in this corner. All right, on this card, I stamped a leaf. Okay, so we're going to do it this way on this one. Then I'm going to take my sentiment, popping up to say hi. I thought that was rather appropriate for a popping up column. And then we'll use those as soon as I get my punches made. All right. I'm going to use the punch. And I usually try and dump out all the pieces before I remove it. Otherwise, everything gets caught in there. Okay, I won't be using this piece, so I'll just get rid of that. And I'm going to take my pumpkin pie. And I'm going to stamp on these pieces. There we go. There's the first one. And now we'll do this one. Flip it over here. There we go. All right. And we can put this aside. Oh, wait. Nope, we got to do this. Early espresso. Everything goes flying. All right. I want that stem. And I'm just going to turn this around and do it again so I can get another stem. And again, this is the early espresso paper cardstock. Okay. Okay. What I did with this, with the DSP paper, designer series paper, I took my piece and I put the whole thing in my swirly die or my embossing folder, and I embossed the whole thing. The reason I did that was because then I could cut these columns in the order that they needed to be cut so that when we put them on the card, they lay in place. Now you can't see it as well on this one, but you will see it, I believe, on here. So both of these columns, these smaller columns, are 5/8 by 5.5. So I did a 5/8 by 5.5. Then I cut a 2.5 by 5.5 and another 5/8 by 5.5. All right, and you'll see why that is in just a minute. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to lay these flat again. Now this is where I have to think for just a second here. Okay. You want to do one side of these columns, the divided areas. All right. I have to flatten this one a little better. It's not very good. And it's driving me crazy. All right. So what you want to do is you want to put glue on the left side and the left side so that when they lay down, they can easily fit on your card. You may have to reinforce these creases because they can get a little fussy. Oh, before I do that, before I glue that, I want to glue the inside of my card for my message as well. And that was another thing that I forgot to tell you on Tuesday's video with this card. If you want something to put a message on, you'll want to put your card on the back here. Okay, so just keep that in mind as well. All right, back to this one. We are going to put this right inside. That will be the inside of our card. All right. Now, as I was saying, you're going to put them on, well, either the right side or the left side. Well, depends on how you're holding it. If you flatten it this way, I'm going to have to put it on the right side so that when they stand up, it'll be that way. If you flatten them this way, you'll need it on the left side so that it will flatten up correctly. That makes sense. You'll be able to figure it out once you look at it and play with it yourself. So I'm going to get this so that it stands up this way, so I need to put it on the right side. And the right side of this one. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this right up against the edge of my card. And you see it's laying flat. And we're just going to let that sit for a little bit, and I'll show you the magic in just a bit. All right, so that's just going to lay down flat really nice. And while we're doing that, I'll put this one border on right away of the designer series paper. And it's going to fit right there. Okay, and then when you lift that from being folded over there, you're going to lift it up and there's your column. So on the far left, I'm going to put this other smaller strip. See how easy this is putting it together? All right, we're going to put this one on here then. Oops, I got some glue over there. All right, and then we'll put this on the front. And as you can see, what I was talking about before, when you cut your designer series paper with the small column, the big one, and then the small one again, you can see how they match up and they align with each other from side to side. Okay? And that makes it fun and unique. So if you just take a look at that, you can see how they line up in their different parts. Okay, now we're going to finish this up by putting our message on and our mushrooms. And let's see, I think I want to put, oh, here it is. I lost it for a second there. Now you can put the, actually, I think I'm just going to glue this on this time. But you can put, this one I had put some dimensionals on it. So you can do either. Either of them will work. Just remember that putting the dimensionals on will cause it to be a little thicker in your envelope. So depending upon what you want to do, I would think about that. All right. All right, now we can get going. I'm just going to put a little dot on both ends. Oh, I don't think I got enough on this one here. I'm always afraid I'm going to get too much. All right. Now I'm going to lay this flat so I can get it positioned right. Oh, I want this underneath. There we go. Hold off on that for just a second. I'll make sure I get my stem in there the right way. There we go. All right. And that concludes our card. Isn't that easy? That's a much easier pop-up card. I really like this one. I can see so many possibilities with this, with birthdays and balloons and candles and all that kind of stuff. I think these would make great pop-up cards, these column cards. I've also seen them with crosses. There are a lot of crosses that are out there with this column pop-up from one of our, I believe it's on the online exclusives, and it's a faith, something about faith. I don't remember exactly. Stamp set. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this today and that you will begin to create your own little pop-up cards. The column pop-up is what this is. And share your ideas with us. I would love to know what you've done. So just write it in the comment section. If you can put a picture in there, I would love to see it. I I think that's it for today. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next Tuesday for my next Tickle Tuesday video. Bye now.